everyone. This is Angie Hong from the East Metro Water Resource Education Program, and I am hanging out here this afternoon at Square Lake, which is a gorgeous lake, but it's a wee bit windy, and we are getting ready to do something super crazy. Charlie, my son. How's the water, Charlie? Ah! You just totally splashed me, Charlie. So we are out here, we got our wetsuits on, and we are gonna attempt to do a little swimming and paddleboarding. Hey, we're out here, we're in the middle of the lake. It was cold, it was wet. Right. We did it, Charlie and I survived. How do you feel, Charlie? It was so cold, I couldn't even feel my eyebrows. Now, that's amazing, right? When you get almost to shore, the water just gets the tiniest bit warm, and oh, so you can feel your face again. Well, there you have it, folks. All you need is a wetsuit. You can get in the water no matter how well darn cold it is outside. Right, Charlie? Okay. I'm out at Square Lake, which is the cleanest and clearest of 950 lakes in the Twin Cities metro area. But there is a kind of funny story about rainbow trout in this lake. You see, the trout don't actually belong here, but for years, the Minnesota DNR had been stocking them in order to give people something to fish for besides for bass and walleye. Well, after a while, they noticed that the water wasn't as clear as it used to be, and they thought it might have something to do with the trout. So they performed an experiment. They caught a whole bunch of trout, and they performed a gastric lavage, which is basically just a fancy word for making them puke. They'd eaten a bunch of daphnia, which are zooplankton in the water. There was more algae, which meant the water clarity was going down. So now the DNR is no longer stocking the trout, and the Carnelia Marine St. Croix Watershed District is working hard to keep Square Lake clean again for swimming. Today I wanted to talk to you about nutrients. Now, we all know of nutrients as a good thing, but if you have too much, they can be a bad thing. We've probably heard of people who eat too many carrots and they turn orange. The same thing happens with our lakes and rivers. If they get too many nutrients, phosphorus and nitrogen, then it grows too much algae and it turns the lakes green. So, some of the things you can do to protect your local lakes: one is to always rake up the leaves and the grass clippings that end up in the street, because they have a lot of phosphorus, and when it ends up getting washed into the lakes, it can feed the algae and turn the water green. Another thing is to make sure that you're using zero phosphorus fertilizer on your lawns. It is October 8th, and even though it is a beautiful fall day, I am going to be putting on my long sleeve wetsuit today while I am swimming, because it is getting to be the time of year when lake turnover happens on Minnesota lakes. And what happens is during the summertime, there is warm water on the top of the lake and cold water underneath. And that's why it gets warm enough that we're able to comfortably swim in the water. And then around October, there starts to be a lot of strong wind that kicks up. It will stir up the water that is on the bottom of the lake, and it eventually mixes up with the water that's on the top until it is evenly cold throughout the entire lake. So I have this super unscientific way of figuring out how cold the water is when you're swimming in a lake. And if I can swim comfortably without a wetsuit, I figure it's probably 70 or warmer. If I really feel like I'm gonna need a wetsuit, it's probably in the 60s. If I get in and my eyebrows hurt because the water is so cold, then I figured that the water is probably down in the 50s, and I'm pretty sure that's where it is today.